Hello, knife community, knife lovers, knife enthusiasts, interested viewers. Folder here. I want to do a review on the Workpro folding utility knife with belt clip. I was on Amazon looking for a different type of utility box cutter, if you will, and came across this. And because it's wood, it's got some wood and stainless steel, and because it folds, that's the key. It folds. There's a folder in my belt, on my belt clip. I just said wow. And for $15.99, I mean, why not? So I said, let me see. And it's got real wood, you know. All right. So anyway, the advertisement says Workpro folding utility knife with belt clip and extra 10-piece blades, wood handle, heavy duty cutter, quick change, and back lock. Okay. The dimensions, and I didn't measure this, I'm just going by on the site, is 6.6 by 3.1 by 1.9 inches on the height. And I'm not going to dispute that. Okay. And it also weighs 25 grams or 8.8 ounces. So it's got weight to it. It's not light. It's not a light tool. It's stout. You know, this back lock that comes into the back spacer, which is also the lanyard slot, is yeah, it's heavy duty. You can hear it also, you know, in the action. It's very stout. You know, so well put together, eight almost 9-ounce tool. The hardware are T6s and T8s. I checked that before. Yeah, it's very similar to a lot of the folding knives that we, you know, that we embrace, that we love. So the way this works, oh yeah, and also too, the Workpro comes, like I said, it comes with 10 extra piece blades, and they say Workpro on them. They actually say Workpro. Pretty good. They could have just put generic blades in here, but they did the engraving, a little bit extra. The way this works, the locking mechanism to remove the blade, it's there's a lever here. It looks like a dial, but it's actually a lever that you just push down. You don't turn it, and you just force it down. And when you do this, the locking mechanism releases from the top of the blade inside, and you just pull forward. I'm sure inside just has an arm that comes down on the slots. Matter of fact, it definitely is the case, because you can lock it down on the first one or push it and go deeper and lock it on the second one. So it's just an arm coming down, locking on the blade. And the blade is nowhere near centered, but we wouldn't think it would be. Yeah, yeah, it's not bad, not bad. The arm that holds the actual blade itself on the bottom has a little jimped area where on this ramp, I'm sure you can get a grip on the ergos using that. It's a front finger choil, for lack of a better word, but allows you to get a good purchase on the tool, so you can bear down if you have to. Accuracy and driving force. Yeah, looking forward to using it. Really nice. Essentially, it's a Wharncliffe. You know, essentially that's what it is. The flat blade, cutting edge, it's just like you know, my Yojimbo 2. That's it. Just doesn't have a complete blade for to do what all the other things this is designed for, more thrusting, puncturing material in that manner, where this just has the razor side. But you know, any flat blade surface, it's very similar. It's the same actually, essentially. I'm really embracing Wharncliffes these days because they're so different. They're so different and diverse, and I really like that about them. You compare these two that are pretty much exactly the same to the Demco. Demco with being the sheep's foot. You know, this thing is very different than that. It's a Wharncliffe because it has a flat, you know, cutting surface, but it doesn't have the straight geometry to give you the puncturing prowess of the Yojimbo. But it's a Wharncliffe. Kaiser. Beautiful knife. I love this thing, actually. This is a Wharncliffe, but extremely pointy geometry. This would do very well puncturing through material straight because it's very, very low drag. Very low drag. Slick. You know, very different than the Demco, right? And one more, which this is barely a Wharncliffe, but it is the smock, the Spyderco smock. I mean, the bottom cutting surface on the smock actually does have a belly. It's very slight. It's not, it's not completely razor flat like the Yojimbo, but it's a Wharncliffe, and it has a point to it. It's very pointy, unlike, not like the Demco. It's a little bit rounder off on the front. So this would do very well also puncturing material. So, yeah, but essentially, that's what we're talking about when we're talking about box cutters, Only thing is, you don't have to sharpen these. Sharpening not required. Just change out the blade. All right, so that's all I got. We got the Workpro folding utility knife with belt clip. All right, take care.